right. Hello. Um, to those watching, I hope you're doing okay this morning, afternoon, night, depending on when you're watching this. So the purposes of this is to take you guys through the complete um process on how to go about with your geometric road design. Now, initially, what I wanted to do was have a whole, just one-off video explaining everything, but that'd be quite tedious, and my laptop cannot take that. Unfortunately, so I've decided to make this more like a series per se. So yeah, I'll be covering each episode. We'll be covering each part, starting with our very first episode, which will cover the surfaces creation section. So, yeah, a few things to note. Firstly, when you open your Civil 3D, make sure that you are using the metric version. So, metric units, meters, kilometers, those things. Be careful not to open imperial because then that uses um, American SI units like your foot, your feet, your inches, and those stuff. So just bear that in mind. Secondly, you'll have points provided for the surface creation. So for your project, you're given these points. Now, please take note of the order that the rows are in. So you'll see it says easting, northing, and then altitude, which is your elevation. Keep that in mind. I suggest you write it down because this order will be useful um, when creating this. So I'm showing you this in an Excel, but when you import these points, they'll be in a text file. So there's my notepad, and these are the exact same points with the exception of the headings. So just ensure that these are removed. Otherwise, Civil 3D will not be able to pick this up. So yeah, all of that in mind, we can then commence. So I'm actually gonna exit over here, and then I'm also gonna exit this to avoid conflict between programs. And here we are. So we have a blank drawing over here. So we are starting afresh. So we are first gonna create our surface for which we are gonna design our road on. So first things first, we wanna set our geological, or yeah, our geological, is that right? No, geographical location. My apologies. So we are gonna go to settings. So you'll notice on tool space, you'll see these four headings. You have prospector, settings, survey, and toolbox. You're gonna go to settings, and then you'll see it'll say drawing one up here. So you're gonna right click on this. You right click, and then you're gonna click on the first option that says edit drawing settings. Now, this is going to take quite some time on my end. Okay, now you get to this point, you'll see that under units and so this will be the only section we'll be working on. So drawing units, just ensure that it is in meters. Remember, I did talk about this some minutes ago. Then what you only want to focus on is zone. Now zone, you'll see underneath it says categories. Now you're gonna click on the drop down here, and you're gonna look for it's a bit of a code. It says WGS. Um, there we go. UTM WGS 84. So this is the one you're looking for. I will have it shown once edited. You click on that. Now, the next section. So under your available coordinate systems, you are then going to click on the drop down again. Now this time ignore the first few text after or before the comma because it essentially says the same thing. Under zone here, so zone 1 north, you're going to look for zone 35 south. So this is where we are located, South Africa, zone 35 south. Once you've selected that, once you're done, you can then click on apply. And then once that has occurred, then you can click on OK. Okay, so now we have set our geographical location. So in future, once you have uploaded or once you have created your surface, there's this option called geolocation. So it is shown up here once you're done. So if you go up here quickly, and then what this will allow you to do is actually view the map of the area um while you are busy. But as for now, it won't really show because we have no surface as of yet. I've tried setting it, but it it might not appear. So let's give this a bit of leeway and see if this will appear. So, okay, so we have the Microsoft Bing and it has not loaded yet. Yeah, figure that. So we need to upload or create our surface. So we're gonna go back to our prospector. So under your tool space prospector, now we are gonna create our surface. So once clicking on prospector, so there's a drawing one, and then you're gonna go down and look for your surfaces right here. You click that, and then you'll right click, and then you'll click on the first, which says create surface. And then you have this box. So the only thing you're gonna focus on is your information. So this is where you're gonna add your name. I'm just gonna say NGL for today, which is our natural ground level. Description, there's no need to add. Style, you can play around with these. This shows the different intervals and contours that can be shown in the surface. And then once you're happy, the same applies with render material. Once you're happy, you can click on OK. So we have our surface created, but it has not shown yet because we then still need to import the points that the surface will use. So once you've created your surface, you'll notice on this menu that a little plus icon appears right before it. You're going to click on that and you'll see this will be the name of your surface. Then that little plus appears again. You click on that. And then you're going to go down to definition. And now this plus appears again. You click on that. And you're going to scroll down and you're going to look for point files. So you're going to right click on point files and click on add. Now, once you get to this point now, this is the page or this is the part where that allows you to actually import the text file. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Please ensure that the file that contains all your points is a text file, no other format. So how you'll add that, you'll see this green icon, green plus icon, you click on that, and then this will allow you to then look for your points. So I'm gonna go to project, and so this is what I've saved my point as. So it's best to save it in the order that the columns are in. So surface points ENZ, which is easting, nothing, and Z elevation. And then once you select it, you can click on open. Now, how you know if Civil 3D has picked up your points is if there's a tick right before the file location, and then a sample of your points is shown here on the preview. So that's how you know that you're on the right track. Now, we are not done yet. Remember when I spoke about the order in which your points are formatted in? This section that talks about, let's say, specify point file format, this is where you'll then change to the applicable order. So ENZ is the Northing Elevation Space Delimited, and then the preview shows down here. Once you're happy, there's no need to do any advanced options. You can click on OK. Now, once that is done, so from here on out, you essentially have our surface, but it does not appear instantly. That's okay, because what you can then do is back on your tool space. So just make sure you're under Prospector, and then you're gonna go to Surfaces, and right below that, which is a surface name, you're gonna right click and you're going to look for Zoom to. Now this will take you directly to your surface, and as you can see, this is our generated surface, and boom, along with that, our geolocation has been enabled. So this shows you exactly where the points were generated on um, whichever GPS program you're using, either your Google Earth or Maps or the likes. So we're gonna switch that off for now. So here we're gonna go to geolocation, aerial, and then map off so that it doesn't become a distraction. So yeah, this is our nice long beautiful surface, but you will see that there are a bit of these straight lines. These are like your dead contours. We will deal with that, and this actually ties in with our next section, which is the ability to show your surface in different styles. So you can click on your surface, and then once it's highlighted in blue, you can then right click. Now you'll see a bunch of these options here. You're gonna go down. So we are first gonna start off with our edit surface style. So click on edit surface style. And now on my end, it takes me straight to display. So for you, it'll show this bit. Now, so it shows so these are your sub options or your subheadings. This is where it shows the information. We're not gonna focus a lot on majority of these. Our main focus is here on our display for now. So you'll see that there is a table. I keep moving this around, I'm so sorry. There's this component display that shows all the components, so your points, your triangles, etc. Right next to that, it says visible. Now, this is the option that allows you to then um, show these components or not. So, for example, so blue is off and the yellow is on. See, if I were to switch on points and then switch off, let's say, contour, major and minor contours, and then you click on apply. And you'll notice here on the drawing screen, it shows the points almost instantly. So these are the points that were generated. And as you can see, there's these little gaps. These are where those sort of dead contours, I'm calling them dead contours. If I were to switch them on again, um, using this option and apply, where the points are generated, their the contours are more realistic, whereas where there are no points, they are dead contours. So then let's then play around with something else. So let's switch off contours and then let's switch off the points and then let's switch on triangles. I saw triangles here. There we go. Triangles, apply. So this shows the triangulation of the surface. Though I can't zoom in at this point because I'm still being met with this dialog box. You can only do that once you've um, closed this box. So we'll leave this on triangle for now. We will come back to this for the next part. So we'll click on OK. Now we need to then deal with this dead contours or this section here. I don't know, I said dead contours. But anyway, we're gonna click on the surface again. Now you'll notice every time you click on your surface, the options up top here on your ribbon, they change. So after clicking, what you want to do is delete these extra lines. So you're gonna under modify, you're gonna go to edit surface, and then you're gonna go to delete line right here. Now you're gonna zoom in and then select all the lines that you wanna remove, like so. You can drag and select, but just be careful that you don't select the wrong line. You can do this, and then once you're satisfied, you can press enter, and what this will do is delete all those extra bits. As you can see, the border then takes up this bit here. So you can do the same thing with some other sections. Let's say I want to delete these 3 lines right here, and then I'll press enter on my keyboard, then that will happen. Then to be quick, you can just click on anywhere and then drag to the left to then select these multiple lines, then press enter, then this will occur. You do the same thing here, and I'm just gonna stop until here and then select this line and select these next few. Okay, let's do this. We zoom in and do this, and we press enter. Okay, there's more lines deleted. Let's see this end. I think this end is perfect. All right, and once you're happy, you can press on escape on your keyboard, and just like that, this is now our more or less polished looking surface. So there you have it. So this is now a polished surface. Do I want to give this a bit of time? Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is what we have currently. Let me click on home quickly so you can see what's happening. Now, your surface is now complete. Now you want to represent this with different elements such as your elevation and your watershed and the like. So how do you then go about? So we're going to select on our surface again, and then we're going to right click and we're going to go to edit surface style. Now we are done with triangles, so we can, under visible, we can switch that component off. For today's video, let's focus on elevations. So you're going to switch on elevations and click on apply. And what this does, it shows you like a band of different elevations. So each color represents a different range of elevation. So now, let's click on OK. So now, let's say you then want to analyze uh, the elevations that exist within the surface. So you are going to click on this surface again. You right click. This time we are going to go to surface properties. You'll click on that. And then what will happen is you will be given this dialog box. So it gives you the information. We don't really need to change this. We're going to then go to analysis. So you can skip definition for now, which is not really too important. Now, analysis type. Analysis type, this is where now you get to make an analysis of different components of your surface. So if you click on the drop down here, you'll see you can analyze your contours, your directions, your elevations, your slopes, and your watersheds and all the other stuff. So we're going to start off with elevations. And then your legend shows elevation, so you can leave this as is. This will be automated every time you change a certain analysis type. Now, create number of ranges. Now, if you click on this drop down, it shows ranges, range interval datum. You can leave this, that's fine. Then if you want to increase the number of ranges, let's say I want 10 ranges of elevation. That's fine. Now, what will happen is if you were to click on this downwards arrow, if you go over it says run analysis. If you click on that, it gives you the minimum and maximum for a certain color scheme. So under your range details, you'll see ID1, minimum is 1597.4, maximum is 1604.7, and then there's the color scheme. The cool thing about this is if you were to double click on this color scheme, you are then able to change the color to whatever you like. So let's say I want a lighter blue to show that this is the range. You click on OK, and then yeah, if you're happy with the others, let's say I want to change this one. I'll click on this and say I want black. Yeah, then you can say OK. Then before you press OK, another thing that you can view, if you click on preview up here, So it shows you the elevation table. So these are so for each range, it shows the minimum and maximum elevations at that range, and then it gives you an area. So this is the table. I will show you how you can generate that very soon. So once you're happy with this, you can click on apply. And once you've clicked on apply, you'll notice a slight change was made within our elevation band. So you can see the darker ones show the highest, I believe. And let me just confirm that. Yes, those are the highest. That's the highest range. And the lowest range is this lighter blue over here. And once you're happy, you can click on OK. So you have the surface, which shows the elevation. Now, let's say you then want to show the table in itself. So we're going to click on the surface, and then we'll go to where it says Add Legend. So remember when I said that the menus will change every time you click the surface? You're going to go up to your ribbon, you're going to go to your far left, and you're going to click on Add Legend. Now, what this will do, if you go over to your screen quickly, you'll see enter table type. So there's directions, elevations, slopes, etc. So what we worked with so far was elevation. And then behavior, dynamic and static. Dynamic meaning every time you change, let's say the number of ranges that you want to display, that in itself will then automatically be changed. Then static just means whatever you put in, that is it. It will not change if you were to change any sort of elevation within your surface. So we'll go for dynamic. Now it says select upper left corner. I do advise you to place this as far as possible from your drawing. And let's say if I want it up here. And then once that's done, you'll see that this is your elevations table. Now, I do want to state that the procedure is more or less the same with components such as your slopes, your watersheds, your contours. So the procedure is more or less the same. You can run your analysis from your surface properties, and under analysis, you just change the analysis type to, let's say, contours. The legend will automatically change to whatever analysis type you choose, and you can choose the number of ranges or what type of data you want to display, and you can change the representation of those as well. So that pretty much covers everything related to surfaces. So let's then take it back to um, our contours. So we're gonna go to edit surface style. We can switch off our elevations. Let's switch on contours, and then okay, that is pretty much it. So you can hit on apply and go to OK. Now let's run the analysis for our contours. Right click on that, you go to surface properties, and then analysis. Let's change our analysis type to contours. So you see our legend is contours, and then ranges underneath number, let's put 5 for today. And you want to click on this arrow. You click there, and as you can see, this then shows your minimum maximum, and then right next to it, it shows major contour. So where it says continuous, if you were to double click, this shows you I'm sorry, let me exit. I'll cancel. I'll repeat that. Right. So over here, where it says continuous, there are 3 small boxes. If you click on the first small box, this will be the line type. So you can select the line type of that contour. So you want to click on, let's say, center 1.5. You want to say OK. And then if you click on the second small box, this discusses the line weight. So how thick do you want your lines to be? Let's choose 0.3 millimeters for now. You click on OK, and then the third one is the color. So that's where you can change your color. Let's say orange, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. Then the same procedure would then apply with every other major and minor contour. Then let's click on preview. Preview, okay, this shows the contours table, the ID numbers, and the minimum and maximum elevations. Once that's done, you can click on apply, and then you can click on OK. So then let's then show our contours table. Let's add legend. Then we're gonna go to our drawing screen. Let's select contours, behavior dynamic, select lower, and let's click this side. Okay. Some of these tables are relatively small. This will depend on the number of ranges to select, but nonetheless, this is our contours table. And yeah, that is it. So another cool thing you can do with your surface is the water drop. So whenever you drop water on your surface, it shows you in which direction or how the water will flow. So if you were to click on your surface and then up here, you'll see under analyze, you'll see water drop. You're gonna click on that, and then so it asks you for path layer, object type. You can leave this as standards just to analyze. And then let's say, for example, I want to start my water drop here. So you'll see like there's a small line here. So that will be your water drop. You can click on any section of your surface and just you'll see how the water behaves if you drop it at that certain point. So you'll see the more I go this way, you'll see that water goes from that from the direction you started to this direction. If I were to click here, it goes up to this point. If I were to click here, it goes up to that point. Then let's move a bit. If I click here, see it goes up to that point. If I click up here, okay, so there's a straight line. If I click here, it does that. If I click there, it shows where the water will go. So you can click as many times as you want just to see exactly where water is going to. This is actually very, very important, especially for your stormwater designs and your drainage and all that. So you can just click on anywhere in the drawing, you just keep on clicking, and you'll have a rough idea of where exactly your water is going to. So I'm gonna stop here for now. I'm gonna say enter. So that's just one part that's water related with your surfaces. Another thing that you can actually do if you click on your surface is you go under analyze, you go to your catchment area. So if you click on that and then display this charge point, so it shows this table, display this charge point, yes, this charge point, basic. You can edit this to whatever you like. I'm gonna leave it as basic for now, and I'm gonna say okay. And then let's choose a discharge point. So let's say our discharge point is here, and it shows you where the catchment area is most likely to be if that is your discharge point. Let's say if my discharge point is here, that's our catchment. If our discharge is there, then you'll see how big our catchment is there. If we click on this side, and let's say this one, okay, we have a small looking catchment area. If you click here, another nice small one. If I click over here, okay, nothing has happened there. Let's click here, you'll see you have a nice looking one. Click there, nothing. Click there, nothing. Click there, nothing. Then if you click there, you'll see this. Yes, this is a big one. So yeah, so this is pretty much all when it comes to um, water management, when it comes to your surface. I am gonna stop here, so I'm gonna press enter and we can exit. So that is it. Now, unfortunately, from this point onwards, my screen recording time has been capped, so it just had to cut off the last few bits of info before I could even finish it off. But either way, I hope you have enjoyed the first episode. The next episode will just be as helpful and as informative. And I hope you guys do enjoy the series. Make sure you practice, and all the best on your project. I'll see you in episode 2.